For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or cheap games on any platform, use the referral link in the description. It'll take you to g2a.com. Use the promo code CHES over there and you'll get yourself 3% cash back. For all No Identity merchandise, hats, hoodies and t-shirts, follow the link in the description down below to the No Identity fan fibre website. Hey guys, welcome to another Ultimate Team episode. This one isn't part of the Road to Glory. It's actually something that I've been planning on doing for a while, and you've seen me mention or heard me mention it in the Road to Glory episodes. On the RTG, I had an average team and did rather poorly in FUT Champions. We went 11 and 11 the last time we played FUT Champions on the Road to Glory account. Now, I wasn't happy with that at all, but I was also intrigued to find out what I could actually do if I played the full 40 with an extremely good team. I feel like I'm the sort of player, or just my kind of standard of quality of ability to play FIFA is I'm okay with any team, but to do really well, I need, the really, really good players, because I just don't have the high enough skill level with regards to general talent at playing FIFA. So what I've done on my main account, qualified for FUT Champions, and I've gone and built a super team. Well, I don't know whether you class it as super team. It costs about 3 million, maybe a little bit more. So I guess that kind of is a super team, really. You can see it on screen. I've had it for a while. I've been playing with it for a while. I'm very comfortable with it, so I'm hoping that I can do quite well with it. I'm also using a rotation squad as well. You can see the players on the bench. I'll go through that in a moment. But this is the first team, the main team that I'm playing with. Obviously, SBC Buffon is a first owner, but he cost me, I can't remember, about 200,000 coins, I think that SBC was. He's very, very good. The first few games, he was a little bit dodgy, but recently he's actually stepped up to the plate and been extremely good for me, so I'm pleased with him. At right back, you can see we've got Inform Florenzi. He's a recent addition to the side, only 14 games played, but he is incredible. Very, very good. I did have Gary Neville at right back, who was surprisingly good, actually, despite the fact that when I posted this team on Twitter with Neville at right back, everyone was like, what are you doing with Gary Neville at right back? But I enjoyed using him. But anyway, Chiellini is my first centre-back. 2 goals, 2 assists in 45 games. You don't really expect goals from your defenders. And Chiellini and Sergio Ramos are one hell of a defensive pairing. It's a dead link, but my God, do they work well together. Ramos has played 46 games for me, but I've had multiple Sergio Ramoses throughout my time on Ultimate Team this year. Jordi Alba is a first owner. I got him in a 2-player pack, actually, which is quite nice. He's played 85 games for me, 1 goal, 5 assists. Not prolific in front of goal or even creativity wise, but still extremely solid defensively. The newest addition is actually Inform Casemiro. He's only played 11 games but got 4 assists. I did have Team of the Year Iniesta in there, but he didn't really do that well for me, so I went with Casemiro, and he's been so rock solid with the defensive side of things that I'm quite happy to keep him there. On the other side, we've got second Inform Brozovic, who's got 4 goals and 13 assists in 25 games. Incredible card. His dribbling is outstanding. You can see the card stats there. Really, really good card. Definitely recommend that you try him out if you have the opportunity to. Luis Figo on the right-hand side has 45 games played, 11 goals, 5 assists. It's actually the second Figo that I've used throughout FIFA 17, and I really enjoy using Luis Figo, so that's why he's on the right-hand side. Plus, I couldn't afford George Best, and I didn't want Freddie Ljungberg, so that's why we've got Figo on the right. On the left, Ryan Giggs, who's another newer addition to the side. 4 goals, 4 assists in 14 games. I initially had Mark Overmars, who was very, very good, but decided I wanted to change things up a little bit and give Ryan Giggs a go. And initially, first 6 or 7 games, he did nothing for me, but recently he's actually started to perform as I've become more and more used to how to play with him. So I'm pleased with Ryan Giggs. The 2 standout players in this team, though, by far, are Dennis Bergkamp and third Inform Higuain. Dennis Bergkamp has played 45 games for me, 32 goals and 30 assists. Outstanding. Contributing to 62 goals in 45 games. He's incredible. He is expensive, cost me a flat 1,000,000 coins, but one of the best players I've ever used on any FIFA ever. Similarly, with third Inform Higuain, £309,000, just 300k for this card. It just blows my mind how he goes for so cheap. 35 goals and 6 assists in 25 games. These two can single-handedly win you games on their own, let alone the fact that the rest of the side can defend pretty solidly and be quite creative with the rest of the midfield players as well. I'll quickly do the squad selector and switch to show you my rotation side. Basically doing that for fitness. So I'll play a couple of games with one side, switch, play a couple of games with the other, etc, etc. I've got lone Jack Butland in goal at the minute. minute because I didn't have the coins to buy David De Gea or anything like that, and I've only got about 20k, so I still can't afford to buy David De Gea, but I will replace Butland probably with like Lloris or Courtois or something when his loan runs out. I've got this week's second inform Seamus Coleman at right back, 5 games played, 160k paid. Didn't mean to rhyme there, but I did. And he's extremely good. Very, very solid right back. Really enjoying playing with him. Chris Smalling at centre back. I don't like coming up against Chris Smalling, but sometimes you just have to join him when everybody's using him. I tried Vincent Kompany over a couple of other players, and he's been solid enough for me so far. I might put a chemistry solo to slightly improve his pace a little bit, because he is a little bit slow at times, but been pretty solid so far. Dave at left back, I couldn't afford Inform Baines or anyone else on the left-hand side of defence, so I went with Azpilicueta. Again, might put a chemistry style on him to improve his pace and his physical a little bit, but he's been pretty solid for me. Of course, it wouldn't be FUT Champions without a side with N'Golo Kante in it. 25 games played, 2 goals, 1 assist for him. Inform Yaya Toure is amazing. This is the second time I've used him, and the first time I had him, played about 40 games with him, and he was extremely good. 5 games, 1 goal for him so far. This side I built last night, so I've only played a handful of games with it. Enrique Mkhitaryan. Oh my god, he is incredible. 4 games played, 3 goals, 4 assists. He's unbelievable so far. Obviously, I've only played 4 games, so it's not a full in-depth review, but so far he's been unreal. The one player that you would think would do incredibly well for me, Eden Hazard, player of the month, Eden Hazard, not that good for me. 35 games, 2 goals, 5 assists. I don't know why, I just don't click with him this year, but obviously he's a quote-unquote free card. As in, I can't sell him now to get the coins back I paid to replace him with someone else, so I use him in this team. It cost me about 600,000 to 700,000 coins to do that SBC, because of course you needed an informed Belgian at the time, and they were all going for 300k plus, so that was an expensive SBC to do. I kind of regret that one. One SBC I don't regret doing is Diego Costa. 58 games played, 51 goals scored, 24 assists. Of course, I was lucky enough to get invited down by EA to Chelsea's training ground to present him with that trophy. It's my display picture on Twitter, is me actually presenting Diego with that trophy. So I couldn't help but put him in the side, and then he couldn't help but score goals. So I was delighted that he's in the team. Kevin De Bruyne, though, this just one of the players that I really click with on Ultimate Team this year. It's the second time I've used him as well. So far, 6 games, 7 goals, 2 assists. Previously, about 40 games played, about 30 games, 40 games played, about 30 goals, and about 20 assists as well. I don't know what it is about Kevin De Bruyne. He and I just get on very well indeed. But they're the 2 sides that I'm playing with. I'm going to go in and play the first game of FUT Champions this weekend with that quote-unquote super team. I don't know whether you'd class it as a super team. It is expensive, but is it expensive enough to warrant the super team tag? I'm not sure, but I think it's a super team, so you'll have to let me know in the comment section. Let me know what team you're playing with in the comment section down below this FUT Champions weekend. And of course, if you want to tweet me a picture of your team and let me know how you're getting on in the tournament or in the weekend league, then feel free to follow me on Twitter and tweet me, and I'll get back to you. Link is in the description to my Twitter. But today's episode, or today's video, is going to be me just live comming my first game in FUT Champions, and then I'm going to go and play 40 games over the weekend, and in due course you'll see the footage over the next few days. There's still, of course, Karimo content twice a day, every single day anyway, so don't worry about missing any other content. That's still coming to you, but I've been able to record ahead so that I can actually dedicate a weekend to FUT Champions for the first time in a very long time. And after this, next weekend, for the first weekend in February, I'm planning to hopefully go into FUT Champions every week with the RTG account, now that we've got a little bit more money on that in that series, and we can actually afford some better players, so hopefully I can do a little bit better in the weekend league. But I'd very much like to achieve gold 2, I think. The leaderboards you can see here, obviously 40 games. I think if I can get close to gold 1, I'd be delighted. Like I say, I'm not the best player at FIFA. You can see my record there, 196 wins, 109 defeats. So I'm kind of winning 2 in 3. So theoretically, that means that I should win about 20 of 30. So I'd be happy with gold 2. But obviously, if we could get gold 1 or even a far stretch elite 3, then that would be absolutely superb. But this is basically an experiment of an average FIFA guy with a very good team. How well can I do? Drop the video a like if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel too for more career mode and Ultimate Team content. And I'm going to go and play my first game. Right then, first opponent of 40. Wow, team of the group stage, Cavani. Second in form? No, first in form, Alexandre Lacazette. Cam transferred Draxler. Transferred Memphis Depay on the left. Lone Petit at CDM. I've used Lone Petit as well, and he's very good. Di Maria, and then basically the rest of the PSG team in the defence, as you might expect it to be. This will actually probably be a difficult game. We'll have to wait and see how we get on. I think this guy might actually be French and a PSG fan, so I'm not sure what the connection will be like, but hopefully I can still do quite well. Nice Bergkamp. Where are we going to go? It's got to be Giggs. Ryan Giggs. Why not? Oh, Areola with a half-decent save. Brozovic, Giggs, Higuain, and save. There are the half-time stats. In rather typical FUT Champions fashion, it's been extremely tight and extremely difficult. 2 shots on target each. He's had an extra shot than me, but that one obviously went wide. And possession has been pretty similar as well. He's a good player. We've come up against a tough opponent here for our first game. It doesn't bode well for the rest of the weekend if I can't win my first game, but if we can come up against some easier opponents later on in the weekend, then we might still be able to do half decent. He's got me on the back foot here. Saw that 1-2 coming and read it, but still couldn't get it. This would be 1-0. Oh, Buffon with a save. Oh, and Jordi Alba with a block. Wow. I read that 1-2, but my defender just wouldn't stick out a leg, unfortunately. Thankfully, Buffon and my defenders came to the rescue. That's the closest we've come to a goal so far in this game for either team. Extremely well done by Buffon and Jordi Alba. Here's Draxler. Oh, strike. We are 1-0 down. What a hit from Julian Draxler. I was backing off and backing off, so I was like, he could play in Lacazette, he could play in Cavani, and then I tried to close him down at the last minute. You see Ramos moving towards him there, but he's just let fly. That might be the one moment of sheer quality that wins this game. This is good football. Could go for the 1-2. Could poke this in here to Brozovic. And go back to... No, why, Ches? Why would you pass? I'm overthinking now and I'm overplaying. Casemiro, Bergkamp. Back to Casemiro. And the shot. Oh, what a save. How has he kept that out? Areola. Wow. That was a hell of a strike from Casemiro. But the save. The save. There's so much power on that. How has he even got close to it? Oh, my God. That was ridiculous. That surely should have been 1-1. That's flicked on, but Aurier will get it away. There goes the final whistle. That was an extremely difficult game. I'm disappointed to have lost my first game, but we still played pretty well. That was a very, very even game, and it took that just ridiculous strike from Draxler to win it in the end for him. I was stronger in the second half than I was in the first. At least it felt that way. And yeah, we were slightly more dominant in that second period, but I just couldn't get the goal to go in front. Stunning saves from Areola. One good save from Buffon that then Jordi Alba came up with the block with the second attempt. But I'm frustrated that I've lost that. Never mind. That'll be all for this video, but I'm now going to go and play 39 more games and fingers crossed, start winning some of them. I'll see you next time.